Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the atmos character of our world around us, and today we will just briefly remind to ourselves and to others about the currently main interest of all of us. I mean people especially in Western and Central Europe. I mean this main interest is to support farmers and craftsmen, because many people who live from the work of their own hands also join protesting farmers. So we should support protests of craftsmen and farmers to secure our food security, secure food security, to secure our access to food, because this really illusory and really mad plan of making Europe green and to kill environment because of stupid pseudo-ideological reasons with CO2 and methane and so on that have no basics in real science. That killing in the name of this ideological madhouse and interest of some companies and agro holdings and companies that produce these electric windmills and electric pseudo cars, killing this in the name of these all things I mentioned, it's actually killing us. Because being dependent on agro holdings that are located in heavily corrupted Ukraine, or another, as I mentioned already in my previous videos, dependence on the agro production in South America, that it's also politically unstable, and at any time many things can happen there. Some other junta can take power and simply change their customers for their agricultural products. And what would then happen with Europeans? The similar situation to the one that happened in Ukraine in the years 1921 to 1932, so Great Famine, also practically artificially induced. Do we want it? No. This is always the way how all socialist madhouse ends, and how this madhouse is supported by corporations, especially with electric cars and also agro holdings, because they cannot find many customers outside, because there is a Chinese, Indian, American, or even Russian competition or South American competition. And that's why they would like to the European industrialists and owners of agro holdings, who have incredible power on the governments. In democracy it is even much easier to influence than on autocratic governments. They would like to secure their markets. That's why, as I'm always mentioning, they support socialists, because socialists give them monopolies for their activity, which together with socialism give them absolute power over the society, and they are introducing one madhouse after another. In most cases it ends up with famine and problems. To avoid it currently, exactly as I said, we need to support protesting farmers. What can we do? Of course, support them financially, give them food, give them mental and physical support, and also very important support, don't disturb them. So we shouldn't spread idiotic information about them, and we shouldn't spread bad propaganda about them. Very often, as I also mentioned it before, great help is called not interrupt. We shouldn't interrupt them, and then we help them really greatly. I'm really happy that awareness within the society, not only Polish, not only German, but also within the Dutch society, that it started over 2 years ago. Awareness is still growing. We should work on the increasing pace of this growth of awareness, because we don't have much time, and dependence on great agro holdings in Ukraine or in South America is the worst thing that can happen to us, because their corrupted owners also dependent on local politics there. Ukraine or South America cannot provide us satisfactory food security, and we know no food, no life. So we are really now in life-threatening situation if we allow this madhouse to be implemented, this stupid regulation, idiotic regulation to be implemented. We are really in life-threatening situation, and we need to be aware of that and fight for our right to normal life and even for our life to food. This is always the case how it ends up with socialism. It ends up with poverty, famine, war, and hatred. We have to avoid that. We have already newly generated conflicts, for instance in Middle East, or the conflict that started really but was creeping slowly in the Eastern Europe in 2014. It got escalated a little bit more in 2022, and now we have its consequences even more, we feel. That is why we shouldn't allow Ukrainian holdings and which are in hands of many rich people from Germany, Netherlands, US, and also some Gulf countries. We cannot, and Great Britain, of course, including royal family, are also owners of many of these agricultural holdings in Ukraine or South America. We cannot allow them to dominate our life and regulate it fully every day, even through our food. That's why, as much as we can, we should support protesters and we shouldn't allow this protest to cease to exist. Because if they cease to exist, we cease to exist. And farmers are fighting for their own interest, it's true, but they are fighting also for all of us, for our freedoms, that we can still have possibilities to preserve as much from our freedom as possible. All the best, have a nice day, bye.